So here we got the 10-day chart, 5-minute candles for VXRT, VXR Inc. So it made a real strong push and a sharp decline real fast. So let's talk about it. It went from around $7, pushed to around 10, consolidated for multiple days, set a higher high, eventually gapped up. And one time it did pull back, sharply ricocheted, hit highs about $25. And here we go, dumped all the way to $9, bounced to 13, then continually set lower lows into the end of the week last week. Friday, February 5th, where it pushed at 783 in after hours. So I'll be watching this for the short-term bounce. That's what I'm making this video for. Let's go over why this move happened and what caused it. So they announced their, here's the short-term thing. They announced their phase 1 clinical trial evaluating its oral COVID tablet, right? And it actually reached its primary and secondary endpoint for safety. So that's good news, but the problem was, as you see over here, it failed to generate the neutralizing antibodies. So that was a scare. So here they are in the actual presentation saying it was meeting the primary and the secondary endpoint. It's well tolerated, easy to distribute and administer, right? And they have good T-cell results. So positive and bad, mixed results. So that was pretty much the news behind the whole move. We'll go over the fundamentals a little bit later. So it pretty much ran from the $7 where it came from all the way to 25, and here we're back at 78, $7.80, $7.70. So a lot of people are going to be holding bags from this, and a lot of shorts made a lot of money, but a lot of shorts are going to have to cover. The last I looked, it's about about all the sites I looked, the average is around 32-33% on Friday of the short volume. So a lot of shorts are out there shorting this, and the reason is going to be because, let's go over the fundamentals real quick. Look at their last 10Q. So this is nice to see. They have $133 million as of September 30th. But this is not nice to see. The revenue is $265,000 for the 3 months ended September 20th. About $3.7 million in 9 months. So if you figure they have 109 million shares as of November 11th, and say it's priced $8, you're valuing this company's over $800 million in the market cap, and you're looking at very minimum revenue. So that makes you, let's look at the bigger picture to get the overall move this is made this year, the type of nutty move it's made in this nutty market. So this was actually at 52 cents last year, and here we are at $7.83, and that's a dip. So that's pretty incredible to know that it's moved over 1,000%. But what I do like is look at this overall uptrend this is made all year. The one time it hit this uptrend, bounces. When it goes under, bounces, comes back, holds it, big bounce, and here we are, $7.83. The uptrend is pretty much $7, and it should be rising. So I'm looking for a bounce off this uptrend, this long overall uptrend on the daily candle 1 year chart. Also worth noting, I thought this was kind of strange. Let's get a closer view on the recent move when we go to the daily candle 20-day chart. So this day has 60 million shares traded, 38 million, and 72 million. So if you add the 38 with the 72, that's easy. It's 110 plus the 60 million. That's 170 million. shares traded these 3 days on the rise up. And look at the volume on this day. Oh, you guys can't see it, but it's exactly 169.71 million shares. So these 3 days are the exact same volume as this day, which is kind of ironic. It makes me wonder. So after 3 sharp days, we opened up at 1080 after that. So we could think about this. We opened up on the last strong day at 17, closed at around 2340, to then open up at 1090. Anyone that held overnight it was a massacre. So after opening up at 1080, it closes at 980, opens up at 10, closes at 910, gaps up the next day at 865, and here we are at 780. So the first green day after this type of downward move is going to be sharp. I think it's going to be a strong move, similar to the GameStop one we saw where we ran 50 to 100 really quick. So let's go over the resistance points that I have on the, let me think, I think it's on the 10-day or the 5-day. Here we go. So the first one I see that's going to be really heavy, it's going to, not really heavy, but the first one is going to be $8, which came from Friday. The next one's going to be $8.80 right here. It was the previous support on Thursday, as well as near the bottom of where it initially dropped to on Wednesday. So after 880, I'll get rid of it. It's going to be 940. And we can see why. This was support on Wednesday, became resistance on Thursday. And it will be resistance again. After that, 1050, we see the top of it here, the bottom of it here, as well as a little bit of struggle here. So 1050. After that, I got 1150. It's the top of this, as well as the previous support over here on, I think it's Monday, February 1st. So after 1150, it's going to go down to it's going to be 12. It's the top of this candle, and it was the previous resistance on Monday, February 1st as well. After that, it'll be fairly light to around 1330, 1340-ish. And then over that, my next target would be 14. Bottom of this. And then you would continuously use these levels. So maybe 1475 next, 15 will be heavy. And that's all I'm going to go over for now, because we're at $7. That's 100%. That's all I need. And let's go to the 14-day chart to look for support levels. So we saw that 750 is going to be crucial. That's a psychological level from Friday that held over. 750 is going to be crucial. And then you see a little bit of support over here on January 25th, as well as previous resistance on January 19th around 1740. So maybe 1750 could get flushed, and then 1740-ish could hold. But underneath that, if that breaks, I'm gonna be looking for 7 to hold next. That'll be the next support I'll be looking to hold. And if that breaks, I do see previous support level around 680-ish. So it's the same condition where maybe if the 750 breaks, the 70-40 holds. Maybe if the 7 breaks, 680 will hold. Because that's what it looked like happened previously over here on January 20th and January 21st. And so a company with such bad revenue and such a big market cap, usually I'd stay away from, but this market is different. Everyone's fundamentals have pretty much been thrown out the window. So be interesting to see the type of bounce this has when it has this many shorts. It's also worth noting, I mean, they've only had one split February 14th of 2018, one for 11, but it still leaves you where if you had 1,000 shares originally, you'd be left with 90.9 right now, and your $10,000 would be 1.5 or 1.6K. So long term, this isn't a long term investment to me. I mean, the positives I see of this stock is the hype. The hype of the sector, the COVID, the vaccine. I like the fact that it's a pill and it's easier to transfer and administer. You don't need the registered nurse or whatnot, and you don't need the dry ice transportation. But at the same time, a lot of people already gotten the vaccinations, and here they are in phase 1. They still got a lot of way to go, it seems like. So they'll be behind, but at the same time, on a disease like this, the vaccines will not like it's just needed temporarily. This will be a vaccine that will be continuously needed. So if they can get it down, it will help in places that need a pill form, that easier transportation. Other countries, maybe poorer countries, and people that just don't want to take a vaccination through a needle, or scared of it, phobias and whatnot, little kids. So I mean, it's an interesting play, but at the same time, the valuation is hard to come by. They made all that cash off the equity, discover that. So equity offerings. So I thought it was kind of interesting, because here they did an offering. It says, so we have entered into an open market agreement. So they're doing an ATM and at the market, where it's not priced, they're selling at the market price to up to $250 million from time to time. But they say from a prospect dated July 8th. And when you go back to their actual SEC filing, the S3 they did file that day, says their proposed maximum offering price is $100 million. Here they are doing one for $250 million. So to me, that's a little suspicious. So they're and then it's also interesting to note. So they have 109 million shares as of November 11th. And as of October 12th, they had 109 million shares. So from October 12th, when they announced this, to that November 10Q, they did not dilute any shares. So did they wait for this spike, do all their dilution? And if so, which it will suck for anyone that bought here, but if we catch this bounce, they do their next 10Q. They had $133 million. I'll be curious to see how much money they earned. My guess is they probably ran those fast and ran their money up. And maybe they'll have a bunch of money, because even if they have 133 million shares at $133 million at 109 million shares. So, that's only about $1 a share, not much over. So hopefully they ran that 200 or so, but then they'll have more shares. So it's negative in both ways, but at least for the people that are trying to hold long term, hopefully you got on the bottom. You catch the bottom after all that dilution they just did. And then further news on phase 2 or whatnot. And this will have a catalyst too. But for the short term this week, I'm looking for the $8, the $8.80, the $9.40, the $10.50, the $11.50, the $12. Support being $7.50 to $7.40, and then $7 to around $6.80. With the profitable pig picks, you'll be getting access to the Discord and real-time SMS alerts that detail the particular ticker. a clear buying range, defined risk, and 2 price targets with a good risk to reward ratio, and a brief explanation of what type of play it is. On the Discord, I'll be going over real time, play by play, the situation as it changes. As we all know, trading is dynamic.